Yeah, the game up in West Virginia was a good college basketball game. We gave ourselves a chance to win that night. We did not finish the game well. Actually had a little bit of a lead with going into that last 4-minute timeout. And, just didn't finish the way we needed to finish. Defensively, couldn't get a stop. And offensively, just a play away from having a chance to win the game. So it's one of those games came down to the last shot. McBride hit a tough one. Mac had a good shot, not a great shot, good shot on the other end, just didn't go in. We had some success during that game at different times. We were exposed at different times during that game, so definitely going to have to make some adjustments, try to duplicate some of the things we did well and try to fix some of the things that didn't go our way game one. West Virginia's playing as well as any team in the country right now. We've got our work cut out for us on the defensive end. And then offensively, we're just going to have to continue to try to play March basketball.
In terms of what you guys were able to do over the last 3 games, what can you take away from the successes that you've had, and what are some things that you've seen that the team has done better in those 3 games so far?
Hey, trying to think back, Carlos, that would be LSU, Oklahoma, and Kansas State. At times we've played some better defense, trying to get our guys to embrace possession-by-possession basketball and not have let-ups. We're still a work in progress in that way. Our three-point defense has to improve. We've been working on that. We've seen a little bit of results from our work, but, again, work in progress. I think offensively we've had some balance and we've got some things done both inside and outside during this. We've basically put ourselves in a position to win, 2 close games, and we're able to separate a little bit in the last one. So we continue to be a work in progress. February is a big month for us. We've got to continue to play better basketball. I think in a lot of ways we have been.
Last one from me. I know you don't follow the polls or kind of pay attention to the polls, so to speak, but when you kind of look at being ranked number 7 and knowing that y'all had lost your leading scorer and your second leading scorer from last year and some of the senior leadership, how do you kind of keep the winning or the consistency going, as you've talked about, to continue to make sure that you're not that one-hit wonder?
Yeah, I think we're past that now, Carlos. I think, we're entering year 4 here as an NCAA tournament team, hopefully. So hopefully we're out of kind of the one-hit wonder zone, but we're definitely continuing to strive for consistency. From the Elite 8 team that I thought was good enough to win the national championship. We lost to Villanova, basically a 2-possession game. Villanova went on to win it. The next year we win the Big 12. We get to Monday night overtime, lose to Virginia, who won the national championship, obviously. Last year, first time in school history to be 3 straight years NCAA tournament team. Really proud of last year's team. Unfortunate we didn't get to play in the tournament, but I recognize those guys as an NCAA tournament team. It's not my idea or view. It's the facts. Then this year, we're trying to get in that tournament 4 straight years. I would agree with you. We lose Davide Moretti to the EuroLeague. We lose Jamias Ramsey to the NBA. But here we are relative again. We're in the fight. It's the second, third game of February, and we're right here in a lot of ways controlling our own destiny, playing meaningful games on national television. On Big Tuesday. So I think the credit goes to our players. I think there's a lot of stories in college basketball, but I definitely think we're worthy of the story that we're building a consistent program. It's always been our view from day one. It's right here for us. If we can get this year's team into the NCAA tournament, be 4 straight years, first time in program history. As the players continue to go and come, which we want them to leave early in the NBA if they have that opportunity. We want guys to fulfill their dreams like Morrow did in our program, but to be consistent, to keep being relative, to be a part of the fight. I think our players deserve all the credit. I think we're starting to enter in the world of consistency. That was always our focal point.
Let's go to Joe. Joe Yeager.
Yeah, Coach, as we start to get a little bit late in the season here, how much of an issue or a concern is team fatigue? Or is that something where it's like, these guys are young and they're in great shape, and so it's just too much not of a consideration?
Yeah, it's not a concern. Our guys our dedicated guys, man. Like, our players don't eat a lot of fast food. They take care of their bodies. They're in that training room all the time. They condition. Some of our low-minute guys get extra conditioning the day of games and the day after games. Some of our high-minute guys understand the relationship between work and rest. We call that recovery. A lot of confidence in this year's team because we have some veterans. I think with young guys, you always kind of worry about that. You worried about a young Jemias Ramsey playing 30 minutes and then having a game one day later. But this year's team, this team's as disciplined as any team I've ever coached off the court in terms of making good decisions, recovery, nutrition, training room, weight room. What is a concern and what is a real challenge is the schedule coming up when you start entering these zones where you have 4 games in 8 days and this kind of thing. Now, this is a result of the COVID. This is an unexpected adversity. This is not the way college basketball is supposed to be set up, but just trying to get the games in. So this will bring an extra wrinkle to the equation. Now we've already kind of prepared. You guys think back of our schedule. I think we played 3 games in 6 days to start the season. That was by design. So we try to push our guys. We try to put our guys in situations where we have 1-day prep. Now, we have not prepared for 4 games in 8 days. We haven't prepared for 5 games in 10 days. But we'll get out in front of that. We'll do the best we can. But I'm concerned about, a bunch of games in a short amount of time. But I'm not concerned about our players and their discipline and their approach. It's just such a unique year in college basketball. We're going to see all sorts of different things. Like my friends in the Sun Belt, where I used to coach at Little Rock, those guys are playing Friday night and Saturday afternoon. There's all sorts of never been done before situations in college basketball. This year, we're about to enter one of those as the month goes on. Yeah, I think there's definitely a value and experience. Again, it's why we try to put our guys in situations, preseason practice. Sometimes we'll go back to back. We'll practice at 11 a.m. Why? You might have an NCAA tournament game at 11 a.m. We'll practice at 9 p.m. Why? You might have a 9 p.m. NCAA tournament game. We'll practice 2 straight days. Why? Because at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, you might play back-to-back days. We try to put our guys in different experiences so we can draw on those later on. And I think this year is no different with the COVID. I mean, we're all in a unique situations, whether it be an extended amount of time off, whether it be a couple games in a couple days. So, we're just trying to do the best job we can, preparing our guys. And then when those moments happen, reminding them, hey, we've been here before. This is the plan. Let's try to execute the plan.